J-Bros back out to the auction here. They had just gotten an immense amount of new stuff out here. Interesting Chinese stuff that I've not seen before. Tire wheel balancer. That's pretty interesting. And to go with that, they've got a tire changer. That's quite interesting. So if you're looking to get into the local automotive game, doing some fixings, that's pretty interesting. I didn't quite understand these for like a 3-point foldable pallet forks. I just don't quite understand how that operates. Sometimes this stuff is so difficult to see. But here's a hydraulic clamp. That's for a backhoe. Some sort of tiller. I don't know how you would operate a tiller on an excavator. That seems just really weird. But what they do have here, of course, is some more of these mini skids. And I'll tell you what, I mean, these 739 Ratto engines, these things have been in tons of these rigs. I really haven't heard you know, many issues with those engines. Obviously I have mine's almost 200 hours. Really, as long as you change the oil, don't abuse it, I mean, I'd say you're good to go. But I'm not certain. Here, this says ATS power on here. I've not seen these ones. I'm sure they just change up the labelings on these mini skids, because these look a lot like the Land Hero, but that's what these are. But I'll say this too, you know, you look at this here and then you look at my CRT. My CRT just looks like it's just built bigger, and I think that's why, if you've seen some of the reviews where the Chinese guys did a test on the mini skids, the CRT 23 was one of the heavier lifting mini skids for its size. Yeah, let's see, here's this one. Here's the Ratto engine in there as well. What I might end up doing is I might try to, when these get separated, I might try to do a review on each one of these and try to figure out what's the difference between these and then what my CRT 23 has versus these new ones coming out. But I'm gonna get you to over here what I've noticed. So they had a lot of the Wolverine attachments, and then they started with the GI YI attachments. Now they're into this paw brake. So I don't know if that's just a labeling thing that then the Chinese are changing up, and something to do with, you know, maybe a business going out of business or whatever. I don't quite know what the deal is there, but I've been seeing this paw brake. I'm going to jump further up into the auction because this is kind of the overflow area here now, and I'll get back up into this whole new lot that just came in. All right, now we're kind of back into the new stuff, and once again, there's that paw brake over there. Different attachments. Like I said, that's kind of like the new wave, and you can see there's some more paw brake stuff over there as well, and that's kind of where the Wolverine stuff is. That stuff's been sold. But yeah, kind of as same as before. Here's some new attachments in again. Trenchers, land rollers, or excuse me, augers, obviously. Trencher here. What else they got? They've been coming out with these carports up in here more of late too. What I thought about one time was just buying this shell for quick storage and then just sheeting the sides and capping the end for something quick. I've seen these go for like 1,200 bucks. That's a pretty good deal. Another trencher. But like I said, what I'd like to try to do, yeah, here's another aerator pull behind. These chain things, and I know I've mentioned this before, I've wanted to pick these up. I've seen them go for as cheap as 200 bucks, but these went for like that 400 and 500 bucks, and I just don't have chains or have the need for chains enough to want to go spend the money on that. And this is kind of that excavator here that looks pretty intriguing. It seems like it's built much like a Kubota one. Obviously this is smaller, of course. I'm sure they got small Kubota ones too, but this one seems really well put together, easy to get to. I don't have any experience running this, but yeah, like I said, I'd like to get some more reviews on some of this, like detailed. So if you're looking to pick up one of these items, go from there. And I haven't seen a stump grinder this damn big here for the big skid. This is new here. I've not seen that before. Kind of interesting teeth on there, honestly. Probably is just easy to replace them if they break. And then here's some nice tillers, Land Hero. That looks like for a tractor. And yeah, just kind of the same stuff every time. I think they're trying to get in another big shipment like this, because they had just had a 600 item auction, so it was just massive. And I think they're wanting to try to get one more. And I don't really want to get ahead of the owner here or anything like that, but there was thoughts and talks of possibly getting at this auction more American stuff here. Obviously the prices go up, of course, but maybe a blend of Chinese stuff and American stuff. So that's kind of interesting as well. I'm gonna walk up to this other pile here and see what we got up close. Okay, very similar ones that ITS Power, or excuse me, ATS. This is called ITS Auctions. When I initially saw it, I'm like, jeepers, did the auction place get some custom stickers put on them? But here's some brush stuff. And once again, more of these augers. I have just seen, when I was originally, let's say a year or two ago, you couldn't hardly find these augers. Now they're literally everywhere. Honestly, they're everywhere. You know, more of the trenchers, hammer breakers, or for concrete breaking, just all sorts of stuff and whatnot. And then here's kind of a batch of mini skids again over here. And like I said, that green one intrigues me. My biggest problem with this green one, and even like these orange ones, and this is just going off of what I've heard, is I've just heard these rear bearings just going out on these. And maybe that's not a big deal to replace that and whatnot, but like on my CRT, I got a big, you know, I got a big wheel back there, and I got a big one up front. So I'm not certain how these would stand up. To me, they kind of look, and this looks like a 6-inch width track on this one. And these are the SD wheels or whatever you want to call them. And there's a 7-inch track. And I think some of you guys out there I've seen run this one, that red one there. Like I said, this is another one of those Land Hero excavators. But like I said, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get where I can get a review on each one of these. And like I said, the best I can do is test it for a little bit and then just compare it to my CRT 23 and go from here. But yeah, they have so much stuff brought in this last time. It's getting wild out here. And I know what is even cooler, they had, so this auction's about 45 minutes to an hour away from where I live, and they just put up an office that is right in my town, right off our main, let's say, highway. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully there's more to come and easier accessibility for me to do tool reviews, attachments reviews, and mini skid reviews, and even maybe get into excavator reviews and whatnot. But yeah, anyway, there, as you can see, there's all the containers that came in. So they are containered up here. But yeah, please like, subscribe, comment down below. J-Bros out.